Hello everyone, happy 420! Yes, the day where we consume the devil's lettuce and shame God. Now I'll be upfront with you, personally I'm not the biggest fan of the Mary Jane. I just think she screams too much. That being said though, I thought it would be fun today to celebrate this holiday by watching every single Evil Bong movie. For those of you that don't know, Evil Bong is a franchise from Full Moon Pictures, which is a studio that's been making terrible B-movies for years now. You may recognize stuff like the Puppet Master series, Demonic Toys, or The Ginger Dead Man. And I naively believed that there were like, what, 2, maybe 3 Evil Bong movies? And then I looked it up. There are 8 Evil Bong movies. 8 of them. So safe to say this was a terrible idea, but I already subscribed to the Full Moon streaming service, so it's too late, there's no going back. According to my calculations, it should take me about 9 hours and 43 minutes to watch all of these. Most of them are barely an hour long, thank God. You're very much welcome. Now grab a joint and let's watch some movies. Alrighty, let's not waste another second and let's watch the Evil Bong franchise.
In the night, when I don't feel so right, up through the misty haze, the green will brighten up my days. Cloud of smoke to clear my mind, just a puff to help unwind. Everywhere I go, I take it. Oh, it's like I can't escape it. Only thing I need, mean green, wicked weed, heaven from the devil's seed. Feeling for it every day. You know I want that Mary Jane. Mean green, wicked weed. You got a hold of me. Feeling for it every day. You know I want that Mary Jane.
I'm done. It's over. Well, I'm going to bed. Thank God, I'm done with this forever. Yeah, this was absolutely terrible. One of the worst films I've ever seen in my life. And believe me, I had the lowest of expectations. But still, you'd think that with a title like Evil Bong, there would be some fun to be had, right? No. This film was boring. How long has it been? Okay, we're 20 minutes in. It feels like I've been here for 2 hours. About 90% of Evil Bong takes place in this cheap-ass set that's supposed to look like an apartment. It's so ugly, it makes the alleyway scene in The Room look like it was shot by Roger Deakins. Boy, does it look terrible. And just like 12 Angry Men, you pretty much spend the entire runtime of the movie in that one place. The only slight difference being that 12 Angry Men is a good film. Otherwise, the other 10% left is spent on yet another shitty set that's supposed to look like a strip club. There's some topless babes pole dancing and probably regretting their life choices being part of this trash. I mean, I'm sure you can see with your own eyes, but yeah, this film is so cheap. I thought the Leprechaun movies were bad and had no budget, but man, compared to this, they deserve a fucking Criterion release. It's been about 25 minutes and we still haven't left this ugly set that's supposed to look like an apartment. As of right now, this is one of the most boring movies I've ever seen. Let's hope things pick up once they go elsewhere.
You're unbearably naive.
The story, if you can call it that, focuses on these guys hanging out in this apartment. There's 3 idiot stoners and 1 dorky guy. He's absolutely hilarious because he doesn't speak like a normal human being.
Once again, I'm gonna have to align myself with Brett's opinion.
Just comedy gold right there. So at one point they randomly decide to buy a bong that's apparently haunted, and wouldn't you know it, turns out it's an evil bong. What follows is a series of very repetitive scenes. They're really all the same. The evil bong lures one of the stoners. It brings him into the weed world or something. Some naked babes seduce the guy, but then they have strange evil boobs that kill them. It's insufferably repetitive. The exact same scene happens 3 times. And at one point you just get it. Like I said though, we barely spend any time in the weed world. No, instead we just watch these unbearable characters smoking weed, spouting out terrible lines that I think are supposed to be funny.
Revenge of the Nerds 12 just called. They're looking for extras.
I beg your pardon?
And then once in a while some people arrive for a few extra jokes, to then just leave and never come back again. Yeah, there's also this very uncomfortable scene where some girls show up and the gang starts playing board games and smoking weed, and then let's just watch what happens.
Oh, give me a minute. You know I like to mellow out when I'm stoned.
The twister! I know it's gonna turn you on. I'm horny. I'm horny. I'm horny.
What the
I know it's gonna turn you on.
This is fucking horrifying. As for the climax, well, our characters are all trapped in the weed world and the previous owner of the Evil Bong shows up with a stick of dynamite. He just comes out of nowhere. He's able to blow up the Evil Bong and everyone safely returns home, except for him who died. Only him and no one else. I'm not sure why. So yeah, this is the first Evil Bong movie. What a giant piece of shit. I thought I could at least have some fun with it, you know, laugh at it, but I can't really do that because the movie embarrasses itself just for existing alone. I hate it. I give it 0 bongs out of 5. Evil Bong 2, King Bong. It was awful. No surprise there.
Sorry.
So in this one, the same characters return, and they all have exaggerated weed side effects. This guy became fat and he always has the munchies. This guy keeps falling asleep, and this guy is just horny all the time. Which, as I'm sure you can guess, leads to some pretty hilarious comedy.
You want me to fucking come? Here I come.
Holy fuck. Holy shit. So that's something I didn't want to see today. So the group decide to trace the origin of the Evil Bong to, I don't know, to find clues, I guess. So these broke-ass students just book a flight to go to the Amazon. That's how life works. Once they arrive, the plot gets surprisingly and needlessly complicated. They meet this girl who found magic ancient weed that can cure cancer and bring world peace. So the guys smoke some and their side effects disappear.
You're skinny again!
So that plot point is over, but hey, there's still half an hour to this film. What's gonna happen? Well, they just repeat exactly what they did in the last movie. They find an evil bong, but this time it's King Bong.
King Bong?
Who just does the exact same thing the other bong did. He brings people into his weed world, there's some naked babes, the guys get seduced, but the dorky idiot doesn't fall for it, and he's able to defeat King Bong without any difficulty whatsoever. That's the film. I will say I appreciated seeing more than 2 sets. In this one we have a whopping 4, maybe 5 different sets. Good job, that's very impressive. Besides that though, I think that this one was even worse than the first one, because in this one nobody even dies. It's really just a bunch of jokes about this guy being fat and this guy being horny. And then at the end, oh, let's destroy the bong. What a giant piece of trash. I give it 0 bongs out of 5. Evil Bong 3, The Wrath of Bong. Maybe it's just my brain getting number with every one of these films, but I think this one was ever so slightly less terrible than the first 2. In this one, the gang is back and this time they have to stop an alien Bong from taking over the world. So of course they ask the original Evil Bong to help them. It's basically like Silence of the Lambs. I think both movies are equally as good. I think this one was more tolerable just because of how weird and somewhat slightly creative it is. This time the weed world is like this alien weed world with some alien babes, and man, they made me feel things I didn't know I could feel. You know, as much as I hate to admit it, these neon alien babes, they're getting to me. I would let them abduct me anytime. This time around, the production value is much better, like somehow there's a decent visual style sometimes, and the whole thing doesn't feel as lazy as the other ones. Of course, there's some terrible humor and just the most juvenile jokes you can possibly imagine, but some of them were also not as bad.
Excuse me, Junior, I don't believe I gave you permission to...
Fuck your permission, bro. We gotta get in there. Pardon me if I use my own stash instead of that alien shit.
To my utter shock, they were able to have some setups and payoffs with the humor and the story. Wow.
Wow.
But don't get me wrong, this was still terrible. The ending is ridiculously stupid. This guy just makes karate moves and I don't know, he sends some weed energy to the alien bong? I guess that kills him. They just gave up at that point. There's way too much padding, and the whole film is a complete waste of time. I mean, it is an Evil Bong movie, just a slightly less ugly and less infuriating one. I'll give it 1.5 bongs out of 5. The Ginger Dead Man versus Evil Bong. This is it, the fight of the century. Why would I pay 20 bucks to watch Godzilla vs. Kong when I have this baby at home?
Here's Gingy.
So in case you don't know, The Ginger Dead Man is another terrible franchise from Full Moon Pictures. I actually have the first one on DVD. I'm not sure why, I don't remember buying it, but I have it. I'm just gonna put it away forever and try to forget about it. And so in this one, the Ginger Dead Man wants to kill the girl who made him what he is from the first movie, which I own on DVD. And there's also, of course, the Evil Bong, who's just sort of there once in a while. It doesn't do anything. As for the plot, well, not much happens. This guy is now our protagonist, and he's a much better lead than the dorky guy. Like, he's not good, but at least he's not insufferable.
Every time I see you, Rabbit, it's like I'm getting finger blasted in my asshole with a razor blade.
So he owns a weed shop, and he becomes friends with the baker who accidentally created the Ginger Dead Man. Otherwise, there's plenty of boobies and awkward sex scenes.
Kinky.
Yeah, this is not arousing at all. It's just very uncomfortable. And that's about it, that's the movie. Really, nothing happens until the third act of the film, where everyone gets trapped in the Evil Bong world. The main characters are easily able to escape just by thinking about it very hard. But the Ginger Dead Man is still trapped there, and that's how it ends. Honestly, this one is not as bad as the others. It's still garbage. Garbage day! But it's a bit less painful than what we had before, and especially what's to come. The saving grace of this really is the Ginger Dead Man. He's just more of an interesting character, he's more charismatic than Evil Bong, he's got some one-liners, and, you know, he actually kills people, like you usually do in a slasher film. He's kinda like an even more annoying leprechaun, but that's still the best part of the film. Just like in part 3, some of the humor was slightly better too. Nothing hilarious or anything, but at least there's not as many fart jokes.
That cookie looks pretty tasty, Rabbit.
And some of the dialogue was slightly funny. That is, until we get these extremely racist Asian stereotype characters.
Car, brokey, no buy, okay?
Oh my god, this pisses me off.
Come on, 那么笨的美国人怎么都不知道 Fuck you, man! Next time I kill you! Next time I come here, I kill you!
This is insanely unfunny. Hey, isn't it funny how they're saying words we don't understand?
I don't think it's funny.
What else? Well, they tried to up the production value by having the main character just kind of awkwardly walking around in a crowded street. You can just imagine the cameraman hoping he doesn't get caught, because, you know, they don't have a permit, clearly. And lastly, the two titular characters do have some entertaining banter. I enjoyed that. But here's where the movie fails, though. There's not any verses in this versus movie. Sure, the Ginger Dead Man and the Evil Bong meet at the end, they share some fun dialogue.
Shut your pie hole. What the hell are you, anyway?
What the hell am I? What the fuck are you?
But hey, that's the one and only scene they share together, and they never actually fight. The movie's over? They didn't even fight. That's pretty lame. Come on, let them fight.
Let them fight.
Yeah, this film was really bad and boring, but just like part 3, it was slightly better than the other ones. I'm gonna give this one 1 bong out of 5. Evil Bong 420. Yeah, that one was really hard to get through. It's not even an hour long, and it still felt like an eternity. Nothing happens in these goddamn movies. So this time it all takes place at this bowling alley place. There's this old pervert who was also in the previous movies, and we follow him for the first half of the film. Seriously, for 50% of this movie, all we get is this old man looking at boobs for almost 30 minutes in this 53-minute movie. So yeah, once half the movie is over, that's when we're introduced to the protagonist of the movie. And uh-oh, he's got girl problems. That's right, he's in love with 2 different women. Thrilling. Once in a while, we also occasionally follow the Ginger Dead Man. I guess he was able to get out of the weed world, and now he still wants to kill the baker. Also, he has sex at one point.
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm gonna cream. There we go. Oh,
What? You can't make this shit up. But this is an Evil Bong movie, right? So where's the Evil Bong? Oh, don't you worry about that. It shows up at the end for the last 4 minutes. It just appears, it captures everyone, and that's the end. What? This movie is 53 minutes long, and the actual plot begins at 49:57. Yeah, they had the audacity of ending this with a cliffhanger. So as for my thoughts on the movie, it just felt uncomfortable the whole time. The other films had a bunch of gratuitous nudity, sure, but you can at least pretend that it served a purpose to the plot, because the naked babes lured the stoners to trap them in the weed world, so I guess there's a bit of purpose with that. But no, here some bowling alley employees just show up, they take off their shirts and spend the rest of the movie completely topless. And then some sexy customers arrive and they're like, hey, can we play bowling topless? It's so stupid. This one felt the most like a porno. At one point it just started getting frustrating. I mean, I've got nothing against female watermelons, I do like them myself, but if your whole movie is just that and nothing else, yeah, I don't really care. As for the humor, well, they really went out of their way to be racist and homophobic.
Don't make me handcuff you to the toilet again.
I think they're gay.
Are you fucking serious? That's your joke?
This is me?
That's you. Make me richy rich.
사진.
So I'm done with this film. Please just end.
Oh, picture.
This one may be the shortest, but definitely not any less painful to get through. I give it 0 bongs out of 5. Evil Bong High Five. Is anyone really watching these films? It's got 159 votes on IMDb. Why do you keep making them? Is it really profitable? Okay, so this one takes place after the nail-biting cliffhanger from the last movie. The group is now trapped in the weed world with no escape. This time the Evil Bong wants to dominate the world, but for that I guess she needs $1 million. I don't know why, that doesn't make sense. So these guys go back to the normal world and they have to get the money to the Evil Bong. While this happens, the girls stay trapped in the weed world and there's some topless ladies making sure they don't escape. That's the movie. It's just guys trying to sell some weed and a bunch of obnoxious people just coming in and out of the store and trying to be funny, I think.
We just want to get baked for reals.
For really reals.
I'm fucking falling asleep. Yet again, the Evil Bong is barely ever there. Nothing happens, no kills, no action, no conflict, no plot really. And even worse, the guys are collecting this money so that in exchange the Bong will free the girls. But at the end, the girls just fucking randomly find a magic portal that brings them back to the real world. So everything was completely meaningless. Add to that some more offensive gay jokes and racist jokes.
Cut! Fuck you!
2 hours, little Dave.
I never thought in a million years this would be as bad as it is. And boy oh boy, you've got yourself a finished movie. I give it 0 bongs out of 5, fucking obviously.
From the devil's seat.
So I'm gonna speed run through the last 2 movies, Evil Bong 666 and Evil Bong 777, because they just don't make any sense. They're like a bad fever dream and I just want to be done with them. That being said though, believe me, I have watched them from beginning to end. It's just that I didn't understand anything that was happening. In the 6th one, there's this girl called Lucy Fur, do you get it? And she wants to meet the devil. So she sacrifices people to the Dark Lord in order to open a portal to hell, so she can go bang Satan. I think that's what happens, I'm not sure. Evil Bong is also back and she teams up with the satanic girl so they can rule the world. And I'm serious when I say I have no fucking clue what happens in both these movies. Here's an example. The 2 girls from the last movie are back, you know, the ones that found the portal to the real world. But this time, this one's a clown acting like a child.
It's so poopy.
Why is she a clown? And why is she acting like a child? And this one is a fortune teller. Did I miss a movie? What the fuck is going on here? And also, the main guy who was in every other film is not back for either of these sequels. So instead we're left with this old pervert, a grown-up woman acting like an infant, and a goth chick who wants to bang the devil. Okay, so the 2 girls are now trapped in hell, and Evil Bong wants to help now because Satan is planning to rule the world. So to stop this, the Bong and the old pervert create the Gingerweed Man. That's right, there's a Gingerweed Man and he was made to go save the girls and defeat Satan, which he does very easily by winning a weed contest against the devil, and that means the ladies are free to go. This could have been a 5-minute movie. I hated this so much, it gave me a massive headache. 0 bongs out of 5.
In the morning,
Lastly, we've got Evil Bong 777. I don't know what this film is. We follow the same group as the last film, and now they're heading to Las Vegas for a good 30 seconds, and then everything else takes place inside this hotel. I think they're trying to escape the goth lady who's still in hell, but I'm not really sure. I have no clue. I'm trying my best here. Okay, now the goth girl is able to escape hell by killing Satan, and at the end she's about to kill the main characters and have her revenge, but she inexplicably is sent right back to hell. I don't know why. And then when the portal closes, there's a fart noise. I did try to find the wiki synopsis for this movie so I could understand a little better what's going on, but it doesn't exist. The only thing I got is this IMDb plot summary, which goes as follows. Get ready for a tidal wave of smutty, skunky, surreal insanity as the gang gets into all manner of misadventures. Can Vegas handle this gaggle of ganja-fied weirdos? So in case you were wondering, this is the plot. 0 bongs out of 5. So that was the Evil Bong franchise. This was a terrible idea. I thought it would be fun to just laugh at some bad movies and have a good time, but like I said, you can't really laugh at them because the movies embarrass themselves. Here goes 9 hours of my life just completely wasted away. Anyways, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this video. If you're still here, I'm so sorry. The next ones will be better. So stay safe, and until next time, keep watching horror movies. It's good for your health. Bye bye.